Buzz, welcome back to the channel, your favorite spot to talk all things K-pop, Korean celebrities, and those juicy behind-the-scenes moments we all live for. And today we've got something really heartwarming to talk about because a video of BLACKPINK's Jennie and 17's S.Coups from the 2025 Met Gala is going viral, and not for any drama, but for just how sweet and unexpectedly wholesome it is. Okay, so let's rewind to the Met Gala. It happened on May 5th, and of course it was packed with international stars, fashion icons, and yes, our beloved K-pop idols. Jennie made waves, as always, slaying the carpet and turning heads. Lisa was there too, repping BLACKPINK like a queen. But one face that was new to this glamorous scene? 17's leader, S.Coups, also known affectionately as Cheol. Now, we all know that when male and female idols are seen interacting, especially at a high-profile Western event, the reactions from netizens can be, let's just say, unpredictable. It usually goes two ways. Either people start overanalyzing and shipping to the extreme, or they start the whole they shouldn't be talking to each other train. But this time, guys, this time was different. A new clip recently started, circulating online showing Jennie and S.Coups in the crowd, casually chatting during the event. It wasn't a posed photo, it wasn't even a planned moment. It was just two idols talking in a way that looked so natural and relaxed. And netizens? They're eating it up, but in the best way possible. Like, this isn't the usual shipping, war, or overreaction kind of energy. People are genuinely touched by how Jennie seemed to be keeping S.Coups company during what could have been a super overwhelming night. Think about it. He's at his first Met Gala, surrounded by a crowd full of people, many of whom are probably not speaking Korean. It's not hard to imagine how nerve-wracking that could feel, even for someone as charismatic as S.Coups. So, seeing Jennie, someone who's already a Met Gala veteran and who clearly knows a ton of people, choosing to spend time talking with him, it's just really sweet, and netizens noticed. One person said it perfectly, comparing S.Coups being in the back of every Jennie photo to that one person at a party who just sticks with the only person they know. And honestly, haven't we all been that person? I know I have. You go to an event, it's loud, you don't know where to stand, and then there's that one friend who makes you feel less awkward just by being there. In this case, that friend was Jennie. Another fan said, "Jennie knows almost all the celebrities there, but she chose to chat and be with him. Warms my heart." And yeah, same. That speaks volumes about her personality too. Jennie gets a lot of attention for her visuals and fashion, but moments like this remind us she's also just a good human being. She saw someone who might have been feeling out of place, and instead of just floating around the A-list crowd, she made sure he had someone familiar to talk to. And can we talk about how everyone online seems to agree that Jennie was basically babysitting him, even though he's technically older than her? The comments were hilarious and adorable. People were like, "Cheol, how are you gonna hide behind Jennie when she's literally the most eye-catching person in the room?" I mean, facts. He really did try to blend in, but behind Jennie Kim? Not happening. There was also this really thoughtful comment that hit me right in the feels. Someone said, "She's his safe space during that event." Like, wow. Imagine being in a room full of strangers, many of whom you can't even communicate with fluently, and then there's someone you can speak comfortably with. Someone who gets where you're coming from. That's powerful. It's not about romance, it's about comfort, safety, and friendship. And honestly, that's even more meaningful to me. This whole moment between Jennie and S.Coups is such a rare gem in the world of idol interactions. It's not scripted, it's not polished for the camera, it's just two people being kind to each other in a sea of flashing lights and unfamiliar faces. And I think that's why it's resonating so strongly with fans. Okay, now I want to hear from you. Were you surprised to see such a positive reaction to a male-female idol interaction for once? What do you think this says about the direction the fandom is moving in? And if you were at a big international event like this, who's the one K-pop idol you'd hope to see there as your emotional support buddy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's talk. I want to hear your take. Is this just a one-off, or are fans finally ready to move past the outdated idea that male and female idols can't be friends? All right, that's the first half of our deep dive. Stick around, because in the next several minutes, we're going to explore what this could mean for future interactions between idols at international events, and whether this wholesome moment might inspire more idols to just be themselves, regardless of outdated fan expectations. So, let's dive a bit deeper into what this Jennie and S.Coups moment could actually mean going forward, not just for them, but for the whole K-pop industry, especially when it comes to idols showing more natural, unscripted interactions at global events like the Met Gala. One of the reasons this moment hit different is because, let's be honest, the K-pop world has long carried this invisible wall between male and female idols. It's almost like they're not allowed to even look at each other without causing a scandal. But moments like this, where the fans are actually praising the interaction instead of dragging it, feels like a small but powerful shift. I mean, remember how in the past, even the slightest eye contact between idols of different genders could spark months of speculation, rumors, or even hate comments? Fans were either shipping them into oblivion or calling them out for being unprofessional, as if talking to another human being is somehow a crime. But this time, the fandom energy was different. It was supportive, understanding, even grateful. And I think that's worth celebrating. This could be a sign that the K-pop fandom is maturing. Maybe not all of it, but enough to make a difference. Maybe fans are starting to realize that their favorite idols are people. Real, living, breathing people who need connection, who get nervous, who appreciate a familiar face in a foreign crowd. And that kind of shift, that changes everything. It also raises a bigger question. Should the K-pop industry start encouraging more of these authentic moments between idols, especially in public settings like awards shows, festivals, or even variety shows abroad? Personally, I think yes. We've seen how powerful it is when idols drop the ultra-polished facade just for a second and show us who they really are. It's refreshing, it's relatable, and it builds trust. And let's be honest, this moment between Jennie and S.Coups wasn't even anything dramatic. It wasn't flirty, it wasn't staged, it was literally just a conversation in the middle of a fancy party. But the fact that it made such a big impact proves how starved fans are for realness. We don't always need a big performance or a headline-grabbing scandal. Sometimes it's the small moments, the ones that feel human, that hit the hardest. Also, can we give a quick round of applause for how Jennie handled this whole thing? She didn't make a big deal about it. She wasn't performative. She just showed up for someone who might have been overwhelmed. That says a lot about who she is beyond the stage, beyond the fashion and the glam. And I honestly hope she knows how much fans appreciated it. Same goes for S.Coups. He didn't try to overcompensate or be overly loud to fit in. He stayed true to his calm, introverted vibe. And you know what? That's cool too. Not every idol has to be the loudest in the room. Sometimes the quiet ones make the biggest impression just by being present and kind. Now here's a thought. Do you think this whole Jennie babysitting S.Coups narrative could lead to more collaborations or appearances together? Like, maybe a joint fashion campaign, a variety show, or even just showing up to support each other's group events in the future? I'd love to see it. It would be great to normalize idols supporting each other across groups, across genders, and without it turning into a dating rumor every 5 seconds. And hey, what do you guys think about the idea of idols being more open with their friendships? Should agencies loosen up a bit and allow more natural interactions to be shared publicly? Or do you think it's better to keep those relationships low-key to avoid fan backlash? Let's start a conversation in the comments. I want to know your take on all of this. How you felt watching Jennie and S.Coups at the Met Gala, whether you see this as a turning point, and what you'd like to see from idols in future international events. And if you've ever been the S.Coups at a party, just hanging back, overwhelmed by the crowd, hoping someone familiar will walk up and start a conversation? Tell me about it. Who was your Jennie in that moment? All right, buzzers, thanks for hanging out with me today for this wholesome, refreshing topic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the K-pop world. Until next time, this has been Annyeong Buzz.